They just turned 500 row spreadsheet into an executive summary formatted, ready to be sent, and it only took 90 seconds. This is Cloud Cowork, and if your job involves reports, files, or data, this is the tool you did not know you needed. Today, I'm going to show you what it is, how to set it up, and two real businesses tasks that you can automate starting today. So, what is Cowork? In simple terms, Cowork is like an AI desktop assistant that works with actual files, not just chatbot that you're able to ask questions like ChatGPT or any other AI. It reads your documents, it processes your spreadsheets, organizes your folders, and creates deliverables all on your local PC. So if you're used to ChatGPT or Claude before, you know the drill. You type it, it responds. That is just great for brainstorming and writing. But Codework takes it a little bit further. You give it a task, involves your file, and then executes that task. And here's the key for anyone watching this at work. You do not need the technical, there's no code, no command line, no setup beyond installing the app. If you can write an email, then you could actually use Cowork. Who's this for? Managers, analysis, sales teams, operations, marketing, HR, anyone who spends time on repetitive file work. And you know how that gets very annoying sometimes. So if your week includes take this data and turn it into a report, Coolwork can do it for you and save you tons of time. You need a paid cloud plan for divisional professionals. Pro is about $20 a month starting at this point. If your company is onboarding a team, there's also a team plan. Either way, you need a paid tier to be able to use Coolwork, as is not a free account. Head to cloud.com, download it. As you're able to see here on the desktop, for the desktop app, Mac or Windows, both support standard install, nothing unusual. When you launch it for the first time, it'll ask you which folder it can access. This is the most important decision you're going to be able to make in your setup. Here is my recommendation. For Cowork environment, create a dedicated folder. Call it Cowork Projects or maybe AI Workspace. Whatever fits your naming conversation, point coworker at this folder and only to that folder. Why is this very important? Because it will modify anything that you're able to put in that folder. You don't want it anywhere else where any your financial records are or confidentialities for HR documents are. Keep a clean boundary. Work folder for co-work, everything else stays untouched. Now that you have set up this, let's put it to work. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look first at our first project for business cowork. And now, if you guys have work with Excel files, you know that is not one of the most simple things to work with. So here we got a 500 rows of monthly revenue by customers. Now, if your manager wants a summary by the end of the day, top customers trends, regional breakdown, this typically takes about 30, maybe 45 minutes. And also, if you have another 20 minutes that it's going to take you for formatting, that's probably going to be over an hour. So that's going to take some time. Now, let's take a look at how Cowork is going to be able to help us to just make this in about a few minutes. So on the right side, I have for you guys already my task. Now, have in mind, these are just spreadsheets for demo. So what we're going to do first is we're going to locate our different files. So one thing you need to do is once you come into Cowork, which is right here in the middle, I don't want to go over the left or the right, which is the chat and the code. That probably will be another video. I just want to focus today on Cowork for Business. First, you're going to locate the files. So go here and click on this folder. Then we're going to go into our task revenue report folder. We're going to click on it, and that is going to be the file you're going to select. So you go here and you accept, and then you have given Cloud Cowork access to that folders. Now, in this case, we're going to work on our first scenario, which is going to be identify the top 10 customers by total annual revenue for each one, show their total revenue, their strongest month, their regional and tier, and whether their spending trended up and down over the years. Format the results as one-page executive summary in a Word document called Top Customers Summary for Quarter 4. Okay, so then the Cloud Cowork, and we're just showing you here exactly what it's doing, and is going to go through all the entire file itself. Since Cowork, think of it of your best assistant that you've never had. That's what makes it really fun. If you see it in that type of form, then things become more clear because, as you guys may know, if you're doing this type of work, you don't have an assistant. So having Cloud Cowork becomes probably the best tool to be able to maximize not just your time, but your efficiency. Okay, so here it is, the entire process to be able to just get something done within 5, maybe 10 minutes of you opening it, file itself to just prompting co-work. That is just a lot of savings that is going to give you in your own time at work. And that is how you become very productive. And that also is how you in your own different type of businesses add value to yourself. Remember, no AI is going to take your job. What's going to take your job is someone else that knows about AI. So if you want to know more about AI, hit the subscribe button, and we're definitely going to provide you guys with as much information as I know. So here it is, gives you that whole entire information. So we're going to see the view report. We're going to be taking a look at it in a few minutes. And then we just see the monthly revenue. We go show where it is, and it's right there. That's the file that we originally started from. Now we're going to view our report. Cloud Cowork gives you a nice user section to be able to see what exactly is happening. And we're going to go to file organization. So we're going to take these files and we're going to be able to organize them. We're going to give Cloud Cowork access to our task 2 file organization, and we're going to select the folder. Okay, so now we are working in that folder, and I'm going to paste it here. It says here, look at every file folder, sort it into a subfolder by type, invoice, contracts, reports, so on, so on. You leave this window open on the right side so you guys can see the magic that's going to happen right now. And we're just going to hit enter. Now, if you're, depending on your level of how you're using Cloud Cowork, or if this is your first time, all I have to tell you is don't be afraid to dive in. If you want to start off with something very small and just test the waters and okay, so there you go. Cloud Cowork did its job, done. All 152 files have been sorted, 7 different subcategories in my task 2 file that I gave access to. It also gave me a summary, and it provides me with all the information. After that, you're able to see there you go. It gives me the file summary. Once again, you want to know where exactly it is, just show in folder, and it's right there, file summary. We're going to open it up and we're going to drag it once again, because I have 2 screens, so it takes me from one to another one. And you're able to see there, once you do this project, you are able to see what exactly you're going to get. And if you have questions, trust me, I will be able to answer them if you leave it in the comments. And then we're going to be down here. We got the summary and we got all the different details. We're going to open up all of their spreadsheets. Look at this. We have reports, other, invoices, images, contracts. It is crazy. Even in other, what else does it have? Other different items here. So insanely time saver. Cowork is very impressive, but using it in a professional setting, you need to understand the boundaries. Your computer has to be awake, turned on while it's doing all these processes. So you need to plan accordingly to be able to do this. Usage limits. Yeah. Cloud Cowork loves to eat tokens. So that means that anything that it does, if it's looking at something, if it's sorting, opening a file, sorting, getting you that report of your top 10 companies, is going to use tokens. So I personally was started with the pro plan, And eventually I moved to Max, the first level, because it does use a lot of tokens, but I'm using Cloud, Cowork, Chat, and Codus at the same time. So I do need more than what I need. But I think if you are just sticking to this, you definitely should be okay. Quality determines the output quality. In other words, whatever you feed Cloud Cowork is what's going to give you in return. So if your data is bad, that means your input was bad. So there you go. That is Cloud Cowork. Is an AI that doesn't just talk about your work. It does the work. Reports from raw data, file organization with audits, trails, tasks that used to take many, many, many hours, now done in minutes. If you are a professional looking to get more done without learning the code, this is where I would tell you you need to start. So my next video, I'm probably going to bring you more Cloud Cowork workflows, common business tasks, expensive reports, meeting preps, and different things like that that you may want to subscribe so you don't miss on that. And I just want to hear from you. What do you feel is the most consuming repetitive task in your work week? Drop it in the comments, or maybe you have a video idea or a problem that maybe I can resolve by making a video. So drop it in the comments, and I love to hear from you, and we'll see you on the next video.